Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Jam and Shred Dojo with Master Lee. I am Christopher Lee Weiss, a.k.a. Master Lee, and we are going to do some jamming and shredding tonight. You have to bear with me just for a little bit. I got my old Xiphos out. Had to change some springs in it today, and I put new strings on it, and basically, kind of all got it up and going. I think the action might be a little too low, but it's not fretting out, so we'll see how I do on it tonight. I haven't played this guitar in a couple of years, actually, because it's got a Floyd Rose on it. I love Floyd Roses, but as a teacher, changing the tuning on those kind of things was really difficult because in a lesson, a student will bring in a song that's like, whatever my guitar is tuned to, it's not tuned to that. And then to retune and change the tuning on that is really difficult to do within the half-hour time space of trying to figure a song out and teach it as a lesson. So bear with me just for a second here. I'm going to tune my guitar up. Don't freak out. I don't have it locked down. The strings still need to stretch out, so just want to kind of get tuned away here. We'll do a jam. All right. So let's do one. Excellent jam. Excellent jam. I don't want to do that one. That was more of a laid back one. Not for Saturday night. Oh, man. This guitar is definitely pretty awesome. I got 9s on it. My normal guitar that I've been using for all these have had 10s on it, so this one actually feels pretty nice. Although I am kind of pulling the strings off the top of the fretboard and on the bottom, so kind of lighten up the touch a little bit. I always was a believer that the thicker the strings, the better the guitar sounded. But actually watching some Rick Beato stuff, they did a little experiment in the studio with all these different thicknesses of strings, and they really don't think it matters. In fact, they think the thinner the string, I think it doesn't matter. So, I put 9s on this. And then the other reason we put 9s on it is I'm pretty sure Floyd Rose tremolos are kind of designed for strings that were from 9 to 42, Again, that doesn't mean you can't put thicker strings on that, Again, I'm just trying to keep it the way it is. Also trying to set it up just so that it'll stay in tune on me. This one, the springs on it really need to be worked out. I have not really used this guitar all that often, only because when I purchased it, man, it's a fantastic guitar. I love Ibanez guitars. I'm a huge fan of lots of guitars, but Ibanez is definitely up there and is some of my favorite all-time guitars. This one's really cool. You can see the piranha teeth inlay on it. You got the reverse headstock, right? Got this really cool, almost kind of like Dean kind of setup, Yeah, dude, I love this X too, dude. It's just a fantastic guitar. And it plays fantastic too, and it's actually not that heavy as far as, like, I guess, some other guitars and setups that it is heavier than like a normal Strat because obviously it's a big hunk of wood, and I think the paint job makes it kind of heavy too, but let's do another jam. I'll go against my better judgment and not tune. Let's see how close I am. Pretty close. yeah, brand new strings. Unlocked tremolo gives me the Jimi Hendrix experience, right? Kind of, I want to play octaves there on the top string. I'm like, yeah, those are out of tune with each other. Probably needs maybe needs a truss rod adjustment, or maybe just needs probably needs the strings to be stretched out and tuned up. Let me tune up here real quick. Oh, yeah. Way out. Let's do another jam. I want to say hey to Mac Lover 81. Dude, glad you're back. Good to have you here, man. Good to have you here. Hope you're having a good day. Let's do something another rock and jam one. Let's do this one. Oh, that was a great jam, man. I really like listening to that one. Thanks, Nick. Man, this is a great guitar. I'm happy that I got it out. I'm really having a great time with this thing. Although my finger strength is definitely stronger on the tens. I might have to put tens back on this thing. I don't know. But that means I'll have to rechange the springs. That'll be like a whole nother 2 hour, 3 hour setup I'd have to do with that. So maybe not. Maybe I'll just practice on the other one and just kind of jam on this one when it's time to jam. But man, I really like this guitar. It does have kind of a jangly problem. I don't know if you could hear it on the stream. Let's see if I can get it to do it. Let's see. Listen to this. See if you can hear it. A little echo when you do some stops. Well, now that you're hearing that, let's go up to the. Let's see. It kind of has this like, maybe not too noticeable, but it's a great guitar. Probably could fix it maybe by putting some some padding on the inside of the tremolo box in the back, kind of the cutout. Let's do another jam actually. Let's in fact. Good enough. Let's do another jam. Let's do something crazy. was okay, boy. I'm telling you, that one. I need to fix the background track on that one, man. I started jamming. I couldn't hear that one anyway. I was probably maybe a little quieter out there for you guys too. That one probably, normalized doesn't mean normalized to the same volume every time. I think it just normalizes whatever it's recorded at. Nick, you could probably help me out with that one. But we'll fix that track and we'll do that one tomorrow maybe. We'll really get it volume amped up so that I could totally shred on it. Let's try one that we know is nice and loud. probably need to tune after that. But man, whammy bars are awesome. I may never be able to play without one again. Let me check my tuning again real quick. Close enough. All right. One of the main things that, when you think about, especially with the bar, is kind of using the bar a lot. Not because you're supposed to, but when you first get the guitar, really should crank the heck out of that thing, man, because you really want to be able to break the springs in, kind of break the rust off of them. I have 3 mismatched springs in the back. They're all 3 different colors. So I'm pretty sure they all came from different guitars. I went through my box of springs today, thanks to Tom Sholin, who gave them to me way back in the day when I used to work at McMurray Music when that was still open. He hooked me up with a bunch of springs for the back of my guitars for when I changed the string gauges and stuff like that. That way I didn't have to kind of screw the piece that holds the springs in. I'd have, you still have to screw that in or kind of unscrew it a little bit to get the bridge to lay flat. But again, man, this is a fantastic guitar. The pickups are a lot hotter than I remember them too. Kind of usually with my other guitars, I got to run them through an Ibanez tube screamer, which is a fantastic product. And actually, I'm using a turbo tube screamer. If you don't have one of these, every guitar player should have one of these. It is a little green box. It basically turns your whatever guitar you have into your pickups into active pickups. Now, by itself, it can be used as a distortion box. I've never used it for that. Actually, I've always just used it for just like a boost going into my normal distortion. It's kind of the difference between if you use passive pickups versus using EMG pickups. I always loved 81s, EMG 81s, some fantastic pickups. 85s are fantastic too. The difference between the 81s and the 85s is the mids are scooped out more on the 85s, which definitely gives you more of that Metallica, Megadeth, thrashy kind of sound, because you always want to kind of lose the mids when you're playing kind of a thrash metal sound. From a lead standpoint, though, you kind of want those mids back in the signal because it busts through the mix a lot better. Obviously from a rhythm standpoint, let me kind of bring up my rhythm patch here. You can definitely get that right? Just gives it that nice, heavy, crunchy, just totally destructive kind of riff, But from a lead standpoint, when you go to play lead and you want to kind of punch through the mix, having those mids scooped out definitely doesn't help as much. And then, on some amplifiers, like on Mesa Boogie amplifiers, actually the mids are tied to the distortion. So if you lower the mids on a Mesa Boogie amp, you actually kind of push the preamp less, which gives you less distortion. Which is kind of odd, but I love Mesa Boogie, man. Those amps are fantastic. In fact, it's kind of one of the things, there's so many great amplifiers out there. I love Marshall, definitely love Mesa Boogie. And actually, there's all kinds of cool stuff. Even Peavey makes a lot of cool heads. The 5150 head by Peavey. I don't even know if Peavey makes it anymore, but man, that was a great head, showing my age there, how often I check out new gear, But I definitely I'm not a big fan of all the digital sounding things. I don't mind digital preamps for sure. There are some really cool stuff. Vox has some really cool stuff with the digital preamp. But as far as like plugging into an iPad and getting sounds out of that, I've never really been too fond of those things. Not that there aren't some great sounding patches out there, and some great I forget the term for it. But amp modelers and things like that, there's actually a specific term for that. Figure that out later and I'll let you guys know. Or somebody can let me know. Either way, we'll get the information here. But let's do another jam. I really like jamming over that one too. Get E minor to B Phrygian, right? same key, or E Aeolian, natural minor to B Phrygian. Same group of notes, same key, same everything, but again, the tonal center shifts, right, from E minor to B minor. And then it gives you a chance to kind of play with that C over the B, even though I kind of do that over the E anyway, limiting the scope probably when I solo over it. If I don't go to that B and the C so much, maybe I could separate the sections a little bit well. But since I'm really only playing over two changes that go over 5 minutes long, trying to be just trying to keep the music flowing before that entire 5 minutes on that particular jam. All right, let me check the tuning one more time here. I actually kind of like the fact that it goes out of tune on me. Gives me something to kind of, listen to when I'm jamming, just to see if I can't bend the notes a little bit. Definitely can tell from the bar that when I go down on the bar, since it's kind of new, it kind of doesn't come back all the way, but then it kind of gives you the opportunity to kind of yank it back in the other direction. The only thing that I don't like about this bar, and they don't do this with a lot of bars, is this, basically. If you take a look at my bar, pops right out. I can't do the Steve Vai thing, where you grab the bar and you hold the whole guitar up by the bar, Man, that was so cool to be able to do that. I don't know if Ibanez makes a bar anymore that kind of screws on there. I think Jackson makes guitar, used to make a bar that had kind of a nut on it so that you would stick it in there and you could screw it down and it would stay on there and it would not come off. Man, I really have always been jealous of that. I've never owned a guitar with a bar that way. Even my American-made BC Rich that I got back in the 80s, it's got a bar just like this one, so if you're not careful when you're playing on it, man, it pops right out. And so you gotta, and it really, to be honest with you, it's not that much of a problem for it popping out. But again, I don't feel comfortable yanking the whole guitar up by the bar, just holding onto the bar, right? All right, let's do another jam. Kind of do this metal funk one. that's a good one, jam. That's a good jam, too. Let's see, that was G minor. Let's see if I got another, I think that kind of went pretty good, staying in tune. Let's just apologize for checking my tuning all night tonight. But sometimes it has to be done. I think I've kind of played it into... I don't think the strings are going to stretch much anymore. It keeps staying in tune. I might get brave enough to lock it down after the stream tonight, but maybe not. I'll probably jam on a little bit more. Let's go ahead and see if I can find that other G minor jam. Oh yeah, definitely. That one's kind of more of a bassy one too. Yeah, let's just try that one. right, cool. And I like that one a lot too. That one's kind of an odd one, you know. That one's from the Boss Micro BR. Again, check it out, man. If you want to jam and you want to have a good time for being able to play as much as you possibly can. That's one of the things that you want to be able to do. That's just all the things that you want to be able to play and all the little things that you want to be able to kind of have a good time playing. Check out the Micro BR. All right. Let's see. Let me check my tuning here one more time. Close enough. Let's do a little Mixolydian jam. If I can find it in the plethora of jams here. There we go. great jam. Appreciate the love. Mac Lover 81, man. Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it. Or, again, you know, it's just, man, all of these things that we have to do, all these things, all of the jams that we're playing, everything that we're doing is improv straight away. Again, when you think about, this is D Mixolydian, so what does that mean? It means that up and down the fretboard here, I make sure I play all natural notes, A, B, C, D, E, and then F is sharp, and then G. So as I change the keys, that's really all I'm really kind of thinking about. Obviously trying to match the rhythms and trying to come up with the different sounds and effects that I have, but that's just kind of the fun part of jamming, right? Is just going for it. Let's jam another one. Let's see what ones we haven't done so far. Ooh, let's do that pitch axis one with the bass. That was a fun one, huh? We'll make it dark this time. Definitely using kind of the diminished scale there, right? I was kind of looking at that E. Definitely a cool one, you know, definitely gives it that kind of metal sound, right? Again, I did use major over that one just to kind of break up the sound a little bit, right? Kind of went to that. Didn't use the Phrygian dominant. Could have. Just kind of stayed away from it that time. Really used a lot of flat 5 on that one. So if you think about, you know, what I was doing to make it dark, is normally instead of playing the E and then the B, I changed B to flat, you know, B flat. Definitely gives it that kind of crunchy metal sound, right? All right, let's do another jam. Let's see, I got some new ones here. Let's see if see what kind of sound I'm getting on some of these. Maybe a little more quiet on this one. Got maybe kind of balance on my lead. And I like that one too. That one needs a normalization fix as well. Seems like for some reason all the tracks I did today are a little quieter than all the other ones. I gotta check, but that's a simple fix I can kick back out of the DAW. All I gotta do is raise that level up just a little bit. I was trying to push that envelope right to the 0 dB, but not go over it so I don't get distorted, right? Although watching my audio meter sometimes while I'm doing the tracks as I'm jamming back on them, not quite there. Sometimes they're all in the red, but that's okay, you know. Sometimes you got to push the red all the way to the end, right? Just really want to punch it. So, all right, let's talk a little bit about. Let's try. Let's see. What heavy tracks have I not done so far just yet? Let's do. Yeah, that one's kind of a cool one. I was out of tune on that. But that was fun, right? You know, trying to stay in tune, trying to crank that bar. Man, I don't know how much I cranked that bar. It was not going to go back in tune. Let me fix that real fast. Ah, the joys of the locking tremolo. Oh yeah, there we go. Man, that one shot up. You know, somebody like me who's a stickler for pitch, sometimes the whammy bar does drive me nuts just trying to keep it in tune all the time. Especially kind of that my springs get stuck in a particular position. It's like if I crank the bar down and let it come back up, it comes back flat. But if I crank the bar back and let it go, it comes back sharp. So it's kind of like I gotta keep messing with the bar to kind of get in there. But again, I think that the springs just are not worn in on this particular guitar. Although it does seem like the bridge is pretty even and straight up. So I probably just need to lock it down and then go nuts on it, right? All right. Let's do another one. Let's see which one we haven't done yet today. Oh, we haven't done this one yet. So we want to do that one. Still out of tune. sure that knocked me way out of tune. Oh, yeah. Man, now I remember why I don't play guitar. Nah, I'm just kidding. I love this guitar. I think it's just brand new strings, unlocked tremolo, and the springs aren't broken in. That's the thing, too. It's like, man, you really got to play that a lot. You really got to break in that whammy bar. So, if we've learned anything today, we've learned that don't put new strings on a guitar with not a broken-in whammy bar and not lock it down before you jam for 2 hours, right? But, man, like I said, Hendrix had to deal with that all the time, you know, when he dealt with, like, the Fender tremolo arms. They had a big block in the back of them, right? It was, like, really, like this deep, and the ball end of the string would kind of sit in there, and then the ball end, when you bent the bar down, the ball would come out, and then when you let the bar back, the ball would come in, and it wouldn't seat all the way in the proper effect. So your strings could be like, some would be sharp, some would be normal. That's why Fender came out with that bullet string, because that bullet string is supposed to sit in there and kind of reseat itself really well. But, you know, I don't know how old the bullets are, but I don't know if Hendrix had the bullets. I don't think that was a thing when Hendrix was playing. I think he just had to deal with the fact that his guitars went out of tune all the time. But, man, he sure made it work, didn't he? Man, what a genius that guy was. Missed that dude. You know, what a great musician, you know. All right, let me check my tuning once again. I apologize for this. This won't be a regular occurrence. Actually, it's kind of fun, though, just to see how well this guitar stays in tune. That's the thing, too. It's like I crank the bar down and check my tuning. Maybe I could just adjust it with the bar. Look at that. Kind of does adjust with the bar. Notice when I was playing octaves, those weren't pure octaves either. Oh yeah, G's completely out. Close enough. Close enough for metal, right? Actually, close enough for anything. All right. Let's do another one. Try to get some, let's do this one here. We haven't done this one yet. All right, cool. That one definitely kind of gives me a little chance to. Oh. Yeah, out of tune again, huh? See how bad it is. Yeah, it's really bad. That's why I think maybe 10s would stay in tune a little better, but probably not. It probably has to do more with the bar, right? All right. All right. Let's go back and let's do a nice little heavy jam. Oh, let's not do that one again. Although it was a cool jam, right? Man, this guitar plays fantastic, but I can feel the truss rod moving on it while I'm playing it. I've actually the action's actually gone down since I've been playing on it. That's why it's good to let when you change string gauges and you change your guitars from temperatures and stuff. You let them sit still for a little while, maybe even leave them out for a little while, because they do settle. I can feel this guitar settling while I'm playing it. You know, it's subtle, but when you play guitar for a long time, like I have, seems like I've been playing forever. You kind of notice those little things. And is it that big of a deal? Nah, not really. I just can hear it. I can hear the strings starting to fret out on the E, the high E and the B. I can hear it kind of giving me a little bit more string or fret noise than I actually want. But man, this guitar is fantastic. I don't know if Ibanez still makes the Xiphos exactly this way. I know this Xiphos was kind of like when Ibanez very first released these guitars. I went ahead and got one of these. I have no idea how close it is. It's the XPT 700. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm really not sure how old. I mean, I know it's an old guitar, but I don't know if they still make them this way or not. I know they make a 7-string, which is really fantastic. I'd like to get one of those too eventually. Of course, there's like a million guitars I'd like to get, right? One of the ones, definitely want to get some more Jacksons. Definitely, man, and one of the bad things about being my age is there's a lot of guitars that I want that they don't make anymore. Or those companies have been kind of incorporated into other companies. The Parker Fly, I would like one of those. But I tell you what I really would like, if you guys remember Van Halen way back in the day, kind of like when Sammy Hagar first joined the band. They did the 5150 album, which I think was 87, was it? Man, I don't remember. It's a while ago. But there was a Steinberg. Eddie used to use a Steinberg guitar. You know, it was just kind of like that little square box. Man, those things were fantastic. And it had a trans trem on it too. That was really neat. The tremolo arm like this, you could actually pop it up and down and lock it into position to actually change tunings. Man, how cool is that, right? I always wanted one of those. I go look at them now, and it looks like they only make the Spirit, which I don't know how high end or low end that actually is. But that's just kind of the way it is, Guitars, back in the 80s and definitely in the 80s, guitar was like the main instrument. Everybody played guitar. All music was rock, so there was lots of guitars now, kind of like in the way that there are tons of synths now, right? Lots of great synths to choose from. Because that's kind of what the modern day things are. But, music in general, I think, is kind of normalized quite a bit where you hear kind of a lot of a grouping of instruments, and there's always some great high-end ones, man. I'm sure Paul Reed Smith would be more than happy to sell you a $20,000 guitar with pearl, dove inlays and things like that. And again, who wouldn't want those, man? Paul Reed Smith guitars sound fantastic. They really do. I've always been a little bit more out of my price range. And as a metal guy, they don't make pointy guitars. I don't think Paul Reed Smith makes pointy guitars. I like the ones that look like weapons, so you can kind of like, it looks like you're getting ready to go into battle, or it looks like lightning just struck, or, I just really like those pointy guitars. Big fan of the Flying V. I really like the Dean guitars that Dimebag Darrell used to use all the time. Man, I just love that pointy shape. In fact, this is kind of that same shape, actually. It's just not rounded, and it's got kind of more of a little hook here on the end. But that's one of the reasons that I was so interested in this guitar when I first saw it was kind of like, yeah, man, it's kind of like Dimebag's guitar, but kind of different a little bit, and I always like the finish on this too. I don't know if you can really see it here in the light, but the finish, we kind of have to take it out in the sunlight for it to change. And as cool as that is, we don't play a lot of gigs in the sunlight. You can play festivals. You can play festivals in the sunlight, but most of the time we're going to be playing in a dark club, late at night. And there may be lights in the club that change colors and stuff like that, which definitely reflects the paint because it's got this really cool shiny, kind of looks like the green off a speedboat, and again, I just really love this guitar, man. What a great guitar. Definitely looking forward to getting the strings stretched out for the rest of the evening, and getting it kind of locked down. So let's do another jam. Let's see. This one might be a little quieter too, but let's see if we can't balance it out with my lead. Good enough. Now the D string's starting to fret out. I can hear that too. Oh yeah, truss rod's totally moving. Cool though to hear it happen in real time, man. You know, probably watch this stream back myself and listen to the intonation kind of go out. I think that the this guitar, because it's got a bar on it, I really can't change the intonation. I guess I can change it forwards and backwards. Hopefully I don't really have to do that though, because man, changing the intonation on this is a bummer, because I can't just those Fender bridges, you can change it from the back, right? The intonation part is right where the string goes over. So it's always been tough because you got to take the string, you got to loosen the string enough to get it out of the way, change the intonation, then tune it back up and check to make sure the intonation's right? So definitely a lot of drawbacks and a lot of extra headaches with the Floyd Rose, but man, it sure is fun to use that whammy bar, isn't it? Definitely gives you a lot of more creative juice and things to play. All right. Also had some technical difficulties there. It's starting to get a little late. My puppy wants to cuddle, so he's like sitting in between my feet on my pedal board. I'm just happy he didn't change my patch. But he's a good little dude. It is okay if he changes it, as long as he's happy, right? Let me check my tuning again here. In fact, actually, yeah, the volume pedal doesn't work on that. I was kind of hoping it did. Probably setting a record for how many times I tune on a stream in a 2-hour period, huh? But that's just what happens when you mess with the Floyd. That's what I'm saying. It's a crazy thing. People don't realize how much, you can't just set the guitar up. When you go to the store and you buy the guitar, a lot of times, and it kind of depends. I worked at a lot of independent music stores where, especially McMurray Music back in the day, there was a couple of guys in the back. Tom, for example, I think he went through every single guitar that came in, and he set it up, made sure everything was set. Tom's a fantastic luthier, and really knows his guitars. He builds his own guitars now, and they're just beautiful. Same with out at Mazingo Music, Dan would set up all the. Shout out to Dan. What's up, Dan? He would set up all the guitars that would come in, make sure they play nice, make sure the intonation was set, maybe, get them all set up to kind of go. That's why it's really important to have a good guitar tech. You definitely need somebody, especially when you're on the road. If you can do it yourself, that's great too, especially for myself. I always ended up having to do it myself because we didn't make any money and I couldn't pay anybody. But that's just part of being a musician, right? Sometimes the gigs are great, sometimes they're not. I'll go through maybe some stories later on about some of my fantastic gigs, but one of my when I was first working for Mazingo's, trying to make my name for myself, I had to play the eyeglass department at Walmart. Man, that was a trip. That was a crazy gig, So they set me up in Walmart. They put me in the eyeglass center, like right where the checkouts are. It's like everybody's leaving the checkout, and they set me up in the eyeglass center because it's like right across from where the checkouts are. And I'm basically was kind of playing this kind of stuff. I definitely was playing some jazz and some blues too, because I realized the Walmart crowd might be a little freaked out by all the speed metal and thrash. But man, people did not like me being there. The ladies that worked actually at the counter at the eyeglass place loved it because they were kind of bored sitting there all day. And then one lady really just loved guitar music, so she just loved having me there. And it was great. All I needed was one person to like what I was doing. I just looked at her the whole time, and she was like, "Yeah, it rocks," So that was fantastic. But most of the other people were like, "Hey, could you get out of my way and quit playing music so I could buy some glasses?" And then the only place I could move out of the way was to actually move into the lane area where everybody that was checking out was trying to leave Walmart. So I'm pretty much kind of playing my solos and jamming, moving forwards, moving backwards, kind of stepping side to side, people bumping into me. But that's what musicians do, right? You got to hustle. You got to try to do whatever you can to make people. And really what I was doing was a favor for the owner of the store. Because he cut a deal with Walmart. It was around Christmas time that if you bought a guitar there, you got free lessons at Mazingo's, and I was basically there to kind of promote that particular thing, and I did it as a favor to the owner, and the owner was great. Jeff Mazingo, man, what a great dude. Definitely runs a great store. Haven't been up there in a while, so I don't know how it is, but back in the day when I was there, it was definitely really cool. So definitely happy to help him out. So before I run out of time here, let's do one more jam. Hey, I want to thank everybody for joining me again tonight. This has been the Jam and Shred Dojo with Master Lee. I am Christopher Lee Weiss, a.k.a. Master Lee, here on Junkie Bass. We will be back tomorrow at 6:30 to do it all again. This time I won't be tuning my guitar over and over again, and I'll definitely hopefully have it all worked out and at least staying in tune a little bit better. If not, oh well, it'll be fun anyway, right? All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your Saturday night, and I will see you guys later. Peace.